recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your indulgence, and thank you to the witnesses for testifying today before our committee. Like Chairman Mack and Chairman Ross-Leighton, I too am deeply disappointed in the State Department's actions regarding today's hearing and in their continued poor response and policy towards Honduras. When Assistant Secretary Arturo Valenzuela testified before this committee a few months ago, he stated that the State Department was looking into restoring the visas of Honduran government officials whose visas were unjustifiably revoked for being leaders in fighting an unconstitutional takeover of their homeland. Nearly a year and a half after the democratic election of a new president, we still see no progress from the State Department on this issue, as is evident today. I believe this is outrageous, considering the fact that we allow terrorist government leaders from around the world like Fidel Castro and Ahmadinejad to come into this country, but yet not a democratically elected leader from Honduras. In addition, the suspension of assistance to Honduras throughout the last 2 years has been detrimental to the well-being of the democratic Honduran government and people, especially with the growing threat of drug cartels throughout Central America. Since the expulsion of Manuel Zelaya and the democratic presidential election which followed, the Obama administration's policy towards Honduras has focused more on appeasing the region's leftist leaders. This was evident with the administration's continued lobbying for the return of Zelaya to Honduras, an action which Hugo Chavez and Daniel Ortega had long been advocating. I cannot help but ask myself if this administration understands what is going on in Honduras and the challenges facing this ally nation, especially after the Honduran Constitution, courts, and people helped solidify democracy. We all know what Zelaya did, the amount of corruption in his leadership and the constitutional crisis he created for the Honduran people. Why would the Obama administration force the Honduran people who were hurt during this crisis to accept, once again, a communist puppet of Chavez's that the Honduran courts and people constitutionally removed? As soon as Zelaya returned a few weeks ago, he began inciting violence by calling for resistance. It is no secret that Chavez and other leftist leaders are continuing to move to consolidate their hold on Honduras in order to continue facilitating drug trade routes to the north and to continue supporting leftist terrorist organizations. I look forward to the testimony of President Micheletti and Ambassador Arcos. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Rivera.